Tomb Raider, Uncharted, my local graveyard. It doesn't matter the setting, I love stealing shit from dead people. So when I saw they made a game about stealing from museums, my only question was, why is it like Silent Hill? Looking at SteamDB, the player numbers were so low, I had to help in changing that. So I photoshopped it. I remember laughing with my good butt a while back about how a couple of clowns decided to make an African-based game where your primary objective was to steal shit, and naturally I went to look at the developers page. But as the old adage goes, the curious cat was a killer, something like that. Okay, I'm not Socrates. Okay, listen. I saw something there that shook me to my core. They were South African based. A darkness suddenly loomed over me for a minute. It was my ceiling light. I thought it was load shedding, but I just need a new bulb. Okay, but that's unimportant right now. I was shocked to see that of all the possible ideas they could gather from our really diverse and creative country, they looked at Deft and they were like, yeah, that one. I don't care if it was because they were watching the news, it's a terrible premise. Now, I'm not here to argue the merit of belonging unless it's about this game and the trash. I tell these writers to go back to the drawing board, but I don't think they ever had one to begin with. Whoever wrote this needs to be fired and replaced with a consultant from our firm, Sweet Biz Inc., where we'll turn this game from #1 seller to #2 smeller. I mean, wait, no, I fucked that up, wait. Now, do I think they're a lost cause? No. If your business makes under a certain amount, you don't have to pay taxes. I think. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. But if you want this game to be #1, then you gotta listen and look and listen and learn. Because Sweet Biz Inc. knows just how to bring this game back. This game can be clutched harder than a person at KFC by one simple fix, one simple trick: DLC. And pre-order exclusives. I know those are two different things, but I blew at math, okay? I wouldn't even be able to deal drugs as a backup because the moment they asked for $250, I'd break down in tears, clutching my abacus. But enough about that. We're here to talk about this game. And on my previous note, let me clarify by saying, not map DLCs. Don't hold maps away from people, okay? If you do that, your reviews would be bombed harder than a hospital in. The DLC and bonuses you need are skins, but not just shitty palette swaps, and no, not whatever your short bus riders and concept artists came up with. What you need to make this game a win is a digital deluxe pre-order edition skin of Nelson Mandela. Add that to gaming, you'd have at least 23 peak concurrent players. Might those numbers be artificially inflated? You're asking too many questions now. Look, okay, I need the money up front because jiggle joints ain't cheap, and they're really on my ass for back payments. Let's call a spade here. The game's gonna get mocked no matter what. You might as well lean into it and make money. So for the second DLC pack, I'm thinking you're gonna want to reach deep into nostalgia. Listen, nostalgia is viable. It blinds people, makes people irrational, makes people think Toby was the best Spider-Man. You need to harness that wrongness. Not a lot of people know this, especially since a large portion of the viewers I get on from this country. But we used to have a TV show called Cool Cats. Apparently there was a TV show in Australia too, but this one was local. Ironically, I don't know if it stole it or if it's different, but it was like the Barney of South Africa. This one was local, okay? If the Cool Cats ran as a political party, we'd be looking a lot like Nepal right now. So in my factual opinion, you probably would have been praised a lot more if you made a Cool Cats game instead. But that ship sailed, so DLC will do. Put out a Nelson Mandela and a Cool Cats DLC and you're all set to break even. If you're actually looking to make a profit, we'll be waiting by the phone. Don't you worry. And when that call comes through, we'll tell you
why you sad. Give up.
Because the real advice is to aim to break even, give up on the game, and make a better one. I'm gonna level with you. As a country, we have like 3 notable qualities: Parliament, Charlize Theron, Trevor Noah, and Nando's. I mean, we have Tyler too, but I listened to her songs once and my Spotify suggestions were cooked for a week. I have a grudge, okay? We need another win though. Now, was I expecting a #1 hit from our country? Hell no, brother. The only time I'm used to seeing our country at the top spot is when it comes to rugby, crime, or teen pregnancy. But I thought we'd at least make a game with a sensible story. However, unpopular opinion time. This is where the 4 of you who continue to watch click the unlike button, the report button, and then block my channel, okay? Get yourself ready, take a sip of water, stretch, you're gonna want to stretch for the news. I did play the demo, and it was actually really good. Minus the characters and the story, okay? Everything to do with the people, minus that. The gameplay loop was confusing at first, but kind of fun and satisfying. That is subjective, though. I mean, some people really love Borderlands, and that shit runs worse than a hand crank powered vibrator. It's the golden age for screw up, so these devs have a chance. The whole concept is cool. The history behind the artifact is insanely interesting, especially because I was a nerd who did history in high school. But hell, even to other people, it would be very insightful. I might even enjoy the game. But side note here, and this is where it gets a little less brain rot and a little bit more ranty. The entire premise is just ass, okay? There's no other way to put it. It's just how it is. Just say, this artifact's mine, gimme. We all watch Black Panther. You don't have to give Killmonger's museum speech a whole game. Actually, no, you know what? No, I read through this to make sure, but either I'm dyslexic or it still doesn't make sense. The whole game is basically smuggling stolen goods, which is fair, GTA does it. But the idea of stealing from museums is horrible, because if it's missing from a museum, then shows up in another place, it's obviously stolen. What's the logistics behind that? Because it can't just be paraded around like Lincoln's corpse. There's even a private room to display all the items you've acquired, and that's at home base, brother. That shit's locked up tighter than the chokehold Valorant has on E-daters. Stealing from a public place to privately hold it makes the main characters no better than the people they claim to steal from. Don't make the story sound like Robin Hood and then the gameplay feels like Robin in the Hood. And I'm not saying they need to change the story or the gameplay or remove the trophy room. I'm saying what I said earlier. Just make the characters say, mine, gimme. Don't make them try to justify their actions with, is it really stealing? Let the players decide the ethics. It makes for good debates. I just finished playing Silent Hill F2, and after 30 hours and countless videos, we still ponder to ourselves, what the hell is even that? But in a good way. It's memorable and engaging. Let the characters just benefit from taking the artifacts. Players don't need a reason. I want it. Is reason enough? And if you don't believe me, then genuinely ask any GTA player who's ever killed a hooker in game, all to get their $75 back. I think it's 75. I think it's 75. That was a ballpark number. If it's correct, I don't know why. It's not important. It's not important. Moving on. Just let the heist crew do it for the sake of the heist. There's even another really interesting story beat that gives them a reason to heist. I won't say it because most people probably didn't even play the demo. So if you're curious, play it and see. It's really not that long. I'd also say fix the voice acting and the dialogue, but it's too late for that. But however, this wreck is still salvageable. I don't believe the dev team is hopeless. Maybe the writers are a little bit hopeless, but everybody else seems pretty competent. So good luck. I believe in you. Sort of. Kind of.